implement the software. It really helps to focus the development on what's important while not getting into some technical details, because in fitness, in those tables, it's really hard to stray and talk about some database, what you're going to use, and triggers or not triggers. It's irrelevant at the beginning of the project, but I've seen many teams talk about that, get into discussion with the client about that. It's a waste of time because it's not a place and time to make that decision. So orienting the requirement specification towards acceptance tests helps to focus on what's important at this part of the project. And as I've shown, I try to show you, it's good to create a DSL to describe the project at the beginning. While collecting the acceptance criteria, try to punch out phrases and common language structures that are used in this domain, so you will be able to implement those acceptance tests using a DSL that will be recognizable by the client, specific for that project, and that will help you communicate. That way the client will feel that those documents are his work also. He will be able to read them and you'll be able to execute them. There will be less communication problems if you use a DSL. And yes, the documentation. Of course, those acceptance tests with using a DSL, they are a form of documentation. So yes, we need documentation. We need it. We have to talk about why we need it. Everyone of us has his own feelings about the documentation, and one way of achieving it that we find good is through acceptance tests. But yes, that's not all documentation are acceptance tests. We need, for example, a vision document or some other things that are not acceptance tests. Yes, yeah? But most of the documentation for us should be executable. We strive to make the best part of it executable. So yeah, so what I talk about, if we do that, we set the relationship with the client, our weekly talks, our meetings, based on acceptance tests. When we meet after every iteration, we show running acceptance tests. When the client tells us something's not working well, we say, did you see that in an acceptance test? Is one of the tests failing? No. Okay, then if he's able to do that, maybe he could write a test himself if the DSL is strong enough. Then together with the client, try to formulate his new needs or complaints in forms of acceptance tests. Because that's the way, this way, this communication will be, well, brief, but very concrete. Yeah? This is not working. Okay, so I implement that. Now it's working. Okay, good. And what people miss, well, what I didn't find a lot of people talking about, and it really annoyed me, is contracts. In the Agile community, I rarely find people talking about the problems of how to set the relationship, the legal relationship. Well, I did find people talking about that, but mainly asking questions and not getting useful answers. I mean, I heard once an answer that really pissed me off, that, well, one of the gurus said that, well, time and materials are really good. I work like that with my clients. Tell your clients to work like that. Yeah? Okay. If I would write 20 books about that, then maybe I could persuade them to work with me with such a contract. But until that time, I have to use other contracts. So for contracts, we often need some documents. So acceptance tests may be used as specs and acceptance criteria that could be put into a contract. If it's fixed time, fixed scope, those are the different problems how to do that in an agile environment. I won't go into that. But what I mean is that those acceptance tests are could be the specs and the acceptance criteria that are put into the contract that you sign off. Because it's a trap. It is a trap, but for me it's a better trap than signing off a document in Microsoft Word describing vaguely what I need to do and then letting the client hit me in the head with it. So at least here I have some acceptance criteria that are well, binary. They're either the test passed or they don't pass. So if the client changes his mind, he adds things to the contract, and we have some legal ways of doing that. Okay, and with that, I think we have reached our time. If there are any questions, I don't know if now there's time for them, or later, or in the roundtable discussion, or yeah. Thank you.